I hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day, and I hope it's not as dreary and gross outside for you as it is for me, because yeah, hopefully it doesn't affect the lighting too much, because it is like foggy and gross and but anyways, that's totally not the point. So today I have a review for you of a brand of nail polish that's completely new to me and might be new to you. I'd never heard of it. I have had like 1 or 2 questions from viewers about it in the past, and I honestly had nothing to tell them because I've never heard of it. But now I have. So the brand that we're talking about is iBi, and it stands for like International Beauty, I cannot remember for some reason, my mind is totally blanking. I'll leave it somewhere around here, what iBi stands for. But I was contacted by the company. They asked if they could send me some products to review. This is not sponsored. They sent me the products to try for free in exchange for a review, if that makes sense, but they didn't like pay me any money or anything like that. And just so you know, and I hope you guys know this, I'm always honest with you guys. I never sugarcoat things. I just tell you how I really feel about things, and my me getting these sent for free does in no way affect my ability to review them for you. There were some that I liked, some that I really didn't like, and you know, we'll get to the details about it later, but just so you guys know, you can trust me. Just because I got them sent for free doesn't really mean anything to me. So a couple things that I learned about this brand. The reason why I hadn't heard of it is because you cannot currently get it in the US. However, I did ask the company and they said that they will start releasing limited quantities or something like that in the US in 2015. So sometime this year we may see this brand popping up here and there. So this brand mainly is focusing in like Europe, Asia, Middle East. So if you're in those areas, definitely listen up. And even if you're in the US, I mean, they're going to be starting to release things soon. So if you want to learn more about this brand, stick around. I will leave all the important links down below if you are interested in checking out this brand. And I guess we'll just talk a little bit about the polish now. So let's talk a little bit about the bottle. As you can see, it's quite a bit different from pretty much every other bottle that I have. So it's got kind of like that curved shape, and it's got a rubberized cap, which I absolutely love. I love like the rubberized caps because you can almost never get get your polish bottle stuck, or the cap stuck on the bottle. I really like that about this. So in terms of like the volume of product or whatever, there's 18 milliliters in here, which is quite large. The standard, I guess you'd say, is 15 milliliters, which is like an OPI. But Orly's, however, are also 18 milliliters. So they're about the same size as an Orly, and they have the rubberized cap like an Orly does. I really do love Orly's and this brand because you get a lot more product for your money, and the cap is a bonus. So let's talk about the brush. I don't think that there's anything necessarily special about the brush. To me, it just looks like a standard brush. It's not too narrow, it's not too fat, it's just right in the middle. It reminds me of a China glaze brush. Nothing outrageous about it. So I think that's all I have to say about packaging. Overall, I like it. So I was sent a base and a top coat and 10 nail polishes. Now I've tried them all, I've tested them pretty thoroughly, I've swatched them all. You'll see all the swatch photos. So yeah, I think we're just gonna go color by color now. So the first polishes we're gonna talk about are these two. This is like their French manicure system kind of thing. The French white and the pink. This is kind of fascinating for me. I can't remember the last time I've done a French manicure, like a long time. So it was fun. It was different. My nails almost looked like acrylics. It was interesting. But the first one is the pink, and this one is a mini, and this is called L'ange Gardian. Probably going to be messing up the name, but this is like a super soft sheer baby pink. So how I did my French manicure is one coat of the pink, and then I did the white tip, and then I did another coat of the pink over top. This is obviously sheer. I mean, it's a French pink, a French manicure pink, so obviously going to be sheer. It was a little bit streaky on the first coat, but after you put the tip and then, you know, the last coat of the pink, everything evened out really nicely, and my hands looked like, or my nails at least, they looked fake. They looked plastic, which was really cool, but like really weird. I'm not sure how I like the French manicure look, but if you're into the French manicure look, I think that this works really nicely. It works really good. I'd say that the only downside is that the pink, I feel like it took a little, I mean, I'm impatient, to be honest. It took a little longer to dry than I'd like, because you have to wait for the first coat to dry before you can put the, like, I use stickers to do my French tip, just so that I get a nice clean line. So you had to wait till it was like 100% dry before you could put the sticker on, otherwise you pull up the polish and... Anyways, I'm blabbing. I wish that it dried a little bit faster, but that's my only complaint with it. Okay, so the other color in the French manicure system is the French white. It's called the Blanc Parfait, I believe. And this is just a plain white. It was completely perfect when I did the, because I only did one coat for the French tip. I just did, you know, the tip. And it worked really, really nicely for that. It's not too thick, not too thin. It goes on really smooth. When I put it on my nails as a full manicure, which I did do, you guys will see the swatch of that. Some nails it was opaque in 2 coats and some nails it wasn't, so I think it kind of just depends on like the thickness of your coats and things like that. But for me it was just kind of like a standard white cream, pretty much opaque in 2 coats most of the time. And yeah, I liked it. Okay, so the next color is probably the one that I liked the look of the best. And this is called Tropical Sunrise. This is another mini. Oh, which by the way, I should tell you, the minis are 10 milliliters, which is 0.34 fluid ounces. This is bigger than a julep full size, and it's a mini, so take that as you will. So as you can see, this is like an eye-searing, like highlighter neon orange, which I always love colors like that. I love colors like that. This is kind of like your typical neon formula though, so super sheer. It would probably take like 5 or more coats to get it opaque on its own, but I was able to build it up. I don't think I put a swatch of it in because it was kind of messy because I had to do so many coats. But if for some reason you didn't want to put a white base underneath, you could build it up to be opaque on its own, and it will show up to be the same color in the bottle. But that just seems like a lot of work. I would highly recommend putting a white base on first and then putting this on. So I did 2 coats of the white that they gave me, and then 2 coats of Tropical Sunrise over top, and it was amazing. I know that I had a few mistakes on the cuticle area, so try to ignore those in the swatch picture. But I really, really, really loved how it looked. It kind of dried to like a semi-matte, kind of like rubbery finish, which is kind of typical of a neon also. And I used their top coat. We'll talk about the top coat later too. But in all of these, except for the textured polishes, all of them I used the top coat that they sent me. So this one, typical neon formula, which you either love or you hate, but the color is just beautiful, so I definitely enjoyed this one. Okay, so the next one is called Parallel Universe. This color, I know I'm gonna have a really, really hard time describing this one. It's almost indescribable. It's like, it's kind of dual-chromy, like it has almost like a pink and like a purple halo around it when you shine it in the light. It's like a taupey, mauvey, like almost rose gold kind of color. It's really hard for me to describe, and it is a shimmer metallic-y kind of finish. Like it is jam-packed with shimmer. Don't you just hate it when your camera cuts you off? As I was saying, the color, like it's like that dual chromy, mauvey, indescribable, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's, in terms of color, it's not my cup of tea really. I don't really like it, but the formula is really good, super smooth, completely opaque in 2 coats, and if you do like this color, I think you'll really enjoy this. So next is Forbidden Island, which is a really, really beautiful pink. It's got a really strong blue shimmer in it, and it almost looks like there might be a little bit of silver shimmer in there too. It is really, really pretty. So this is another one that dried like to that semi-matte kind of rubbery type finish. But like I said, I put Topcoat on all of the swatches anyways. This one was 3 coats to be completely opaque. If you had shorter nails, I think that you could easily get away with 2 coats. The whites of my nails were just so like prominent that it was kind of hard to cover it up. But 2 coats, if you have shorter nails, I'm sure you'd be just fine. I put 3 on because there was just the teensiest bit of nail line showing after 2. So yeah, but other than that, it's a super beautiful color. Okay, the next color is probably my absolute favorite of the bunch, and this is called Take Me. Now this color, God, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like a peachy, pinkish, orangish kind of color, and there's like a really prominent, really beautiful gold shimmer in it. It almost looks like it would be textured in the bottle, but it's not. It's smooth. It does dry to like a matte finish, which is really cool actually. And when you put Topcoat on, it just makes those glitters like dazzle. This one went on super smooth, completely opaque in 2 coats. I just really love how it looked. The only downside to this color is that the brush was like curved on this one, which isn't like this nail polish's fault. It's just like a manufacturing error. It's just kind of like C-shaped, and it made it a little bit harder to apply. But I still got it on there just fine. Smooth, opaque in 2 coats, and I just really love how this one looked. It was super pretty. Okay, so the next one is called Peppermint Dream, and sadly this is the one that I'm most disappointed in. I really wanted this color to work out because do you see this beautiful, oh my god, it's so pretty. It's like that, it's a pop of that like almost neon grassy lime green. Oh, it's so pretty. However, this was a pain in the butt. So sadly, this one is really watery. It's really sheer, which, I mean, I was kind of expecting because it's kind of like that neon type thing. But I don't know if you could ever get it opaque on its own. So I put it over white, and it was still a little bit uneven after 2 coats. So I had to add a 3rd coat over white. So, you know, I had 2 coats of white and then 3 coats of this, and it was a little bit much. The color in the end wasn't dazzling enough for me to want to put 5 coats of nail polish on. So this one was a dud, but I don't know, I really wanted to like the color. It did dry to a semi-matte finish also, but I top coated it anyways. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this one. I really wish that it would have worked out. Okay, so the next one is called Seduction, which is pretty much your classic red, maybe just a touch darker than like that like classic Crayola crayon red. It is like a crelly-ish kind of finish, which I actually really enjoyed because in the end it looks so squishy and like juicy and delicious, and I really like that. This one was so freaking close to being opaque at 2 coats. Depending on your thickness, you might be able to get it opaque in 2 coats, or if you have shorter nails, you could probably get it opaque in 2 coats, but I could just see just like a touch of my nail line after 2 coats, so I added a 3rd. This is super shiny though. Like, I've never seen a nail polish dry so shiny on its own. I really enjoyed this one, even though I had to do that 3rd coat. It didn't bother me that much. I like that it just looks so juicy, so I enjoyed that one. And I'm not even a red person. Like, I don't really like wearing red nail polish that often, but I really like this one. And the last 2 nail polish colors are both textured. Their textured nail polish line is called Pebbles, which I think is kind of cool. So the first textured polish is called Touch of Luxe, which, as you can see, is like a really pretty like soft gold. Like, I don't know if you would go as far as to say like rose gold, but it's like a really soft gold kind of color. There's like gold shimmer, and then there's some bigger gold hexes in it, and this is a 1 coater, and it looked really nice. It wasn't crazy like over textured. Like right now I'm wearing a Pixie Dust, and I would say that Pixie Dusts are like more on the mildish end of texture, and that's kind of how I would classify this one, and kind of the next one too. More mild, not super bumpy, but you can definitely see that it's like got like that textured mattified kind of look. So I enjoyed this one. It's a really nice gold texture. The formula on this was just a teensy bit thick, but you know, a lot of textured polishes honestly are. I kind of like that. It makes it, I like applying a little bit of a thicker textured polish. I like the way that that feels better than some of the more watery ones, but you know, that's just personal preference. It's completely workable either way. It's nice. Okay, and the very last color nail polish that we're going to talk about is called Charm, again from their textured line, which is called the Pebbles. This one is like a dark plummy purple with a bunch of holographic little glitters in there. Now the glitters don't show up quite as, like, it's not as present on the nail as it is in the bottle, which is a little but you can still see some of it. And in my swatch, you can't quite tell, you can't quite see this very well on the swatch, but I did a little nail stick swatch thingy, and this is one of those textured that kind of almost gets that white castiness to it, so I don't really like that about it. I would prefer this to be top coated and just be like a smooth polish, because when the texture, like in my swatch photo, it looks just fine. It just looks like a texture. But I did this swatch and then left it overnight and it got the white cast overnight. So maybe if you wore the polish for a longer period of time, you might get that white cast. But top coated is also really beautiful. Now the formula on this was really, really nice. Completely opaque in one coat. It's not super bumpy, it's like mildly textured, so I kind of like that about it too. Like I said, I probably prefer it top coated, but I don't know, it's personal preference. And unlike the other texture polish, this wasn't thick at all. It went on really, really nice, glided on real smooth. So of the colors, I definitely say that Take Me is by far my favorite. I love that shimmery orange, and the formula was nice. I really, really love that. And my least favorite was Peppermint Dream. I just did not like the formula. It wasn't a workable neon formula for me. And I put up with quite a bit with neons, and I did not like this one. But the color is so pretty. But overall, you know, the formulas were generally pretty good. I didn't have any major issues with any of them besides this one. So overall, with the colors of the nail polishes, I definitely like them. Now let's talk about the base and top coat. The base coat is called Gripper, and this one is it kind of reminds me of like Orly's Bonder or something. It kind of dries to like that rubbery finish, so where it can like grab onto the polish really nicely and hold on to it. I did not test this for like longevity. I did wear this base coat when I did all of the swatching for these, and it goes on really smooth, it dries really fast, and when I was trying to take off, especially with the glitters, it really did kind of like grab on pretty nicely. But I didn't, you know, like I said, I didn't test longevity wise, so I don't know if this can like make the nail polish last any longer than any other regular base coat, but I like what I did get from this. I definitely like the rubbery finish and that it dries really fast. The top coat, I'm kind of torn about how I feel about this one. This is called the Dry and Shine Fast Drying Ultra Gloss Top Coat. Now, if you're gonna say it's a fast drying and ultra glossy top coat, I'm immediately gonna compare it to Sej Vite, which is probably my favorite. I mean, there's issues with Sej Vite, but it's probably my favorite and most used top coat. This has a really nice, like, it goes on really smooth. It kind of goes on like HK Girl, if you've tried that. It goes on really, really smooth. It's not too thick and gloppy at all. I like the brush on this one. I feel like the brush on the base, on the top coat, is wider and more, it works more for my nail shape. It's more of like a paddly type brush. I mean, not like hugely different than the other brushes, but I like the brush on this one. You got like the perfect amount of product on the brush to smoothly apply it. I didn't get any shrinkage with this, which was nice, and it was pretty shiny, not quite as like ultra glossy as Sej Vite or anything, and it did not dry as fast as Sej Vite. It dried the top layer really quickly, but with other fast drying top coats, at least the ones that I really enjoy, they'll dry all the way down to the bottom layers really fast, so you don't have to worry about getting a dent in your nail or anything like that with those, because they do it really fast all the way through. This one dried the top really fast, but the bottom layers were still really wet, and you could easily like dent it or anything like that. So in some ways I really, really like it, but I hesitate to call it like a fast drying top coat because it only dried the top layers fast. But other than that, if you're just going with like a normal top coat, I definitely really enjoy this one. Okay, so I think that's it for the individual polish review. Overall, I would definitely love to see more from this brand. It's kind of hard to get a good idea if you're just taking, you know, a sample from you know, like 1 or 2 from this collection, 1 or 2 from that collection, you can kind of get an idea about a brand, but not like hugely. So I would definitely love it if they did start selling in, you know, areas closer to me, or at least selling online to the US, so that I could at least give it more of a try, I guess. I really like the bottle shape. I really like how much the bottle has. I like the rubberized cap a lot, and I also like the bright colors. Looking at their color catalog, I mean, it's really hard to tell from like looking online, like it just like little, like, you know, those little swatch dot thingies, you know, it's really hard to tell if you'll like a color online like that. But looking at their color catalog, I'm not sure how many colors from their overall collection that I would enjoy. It seems like maybe they're catered to maybe more of a, I don't want to say like mature audience or anything like that, but they don't seem to have as many bright and adventurous colors like I like to wear. They do have a few. They definitely have some neon, so I definitely like that. If they had more, that would be even better, at least for me. Again, that's personal preference. And yeah, I kind of just wish that they were available in where I live, because otherwise, you know, I won't be able to get them, obviously. So if you have any other questions about any of the polishes or anything like that, please leave them down below, and I'll try to get back to as many people as I possibly can, especially if they're questions. I usually answer all of the questions because I don't like leaving people hanging. If you are in the Europe, Middle East, Asia kind of area and you have tried this brand, please let me know what you think, because I would love to hear. And like I said, leave that down below. And yeah, if you want any information, I'll try and link as many important links in the description bar for this brand as I possibly can. Because like if you're in the US, you can see their website and you can see so you can see some of the colors and collections and things like that, but you can't actually purchase the product. So yeah, but I think that there might be a different link if you are in, I don't know. I'll leave everything, all the information that I can find down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was useful and informative. And yeah, my phone's ringing, so I have to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! And most other bottles that I have in my collection. Get your crap together, Hannah! Jeez. So, oh my god, excuse me. It kind of fits in your hand nicely, although, I don't know. Oh my god. Why can't I just like speak like, oh my god, Hannah, get your crap together. I highly recommend doing white on 2 coats of the French, whoa. Don't you just hate it when your camera cuts you off? Oh my god, my nose itches. The base coat is